Hello Sarah, I've put this quick video together for you to show some of the safety features of the Gentle Roller. A couple of comments to begin with. The motor that drives the Gentle Roller is a 24 volt DC motor. We run it using a 24 volt power adapter with CE approval. But it means you can keep the 240 volts well out of the way of the user, and the motor itself is only 24 volts DC. It uses a power consumption absolute maximum of 48 watts. In practice, when it's running, it oscillates between 2 watts consumption when it's stationary and the display is on, to about 30 watts at maximum speed. So it's a very low power consumption unit and extremely safe. It's a waterproof or damp-proof motor inside a metal casing. There's no way water can ingress in there and approach the electronics in any case. The other thing I just want to point out is that the design of the Gentle Roller doesn't require any screw clamps to hold anything in place. There is nothing forced or rigid about the Gentle Roller. All the rollers at all times are freely movable, and no pressure clamps, no pressure screws. So I'm going to relocate the camera and come in close and focus on how the drive mechanism works and how using just the weight of gravity makes the Gentle Roller safe. This is my drive key, powered by the 24 volt DC motor. It's an aluminium key with a hexagonal shape drive, and it matches the hexagonal shape on my drive roller. These are my pivot hooks, one on each side, and they simply pivot on a point in here. And if I put my drive roller in place, it's driven by the motor. But to make the felting operation work, we need to put in the idle rollers. These are called idle rollers because they don't do any powered work. They're idle. They sit there until the drive roller is engaged. You can choose to use a third one or choose not to. It'll felt with 2 in place or 3 in place. I'll just take that off for a moment to demonstrate something. When you turn the Gentle Roller on, the drive roller rotates under power, and it rotates the idle rollers by virtue of contact with the felt bundle. But everything is gravity driven. The idle rollers I can take off and I can put on while the machine is in operation. It's perfectly safe to do. If my fingers get caught, there is no pressure because there are no pressure clamps. So the idle roller simply lifts out of the way under the weight of gravity. Because the motor is oscillating, it pulls my fingers down initially and then it throws them back out again. Because these are polyurethane, the touch is relatively soft and I don't feel any pressure whatsoever. If I have the third roller in place and I put my hand into the top roller, it simply lifts out of the way because the only weight of the roller is its own weight under the weight of gravity. So as you can see, it's perfectly safe, and if for some reason you were to grasp the drive roller, the PCB shuts down There's an automatic overload in the PCB. It shuts down, it reboots the little computer chips, and you can continue felting as if nothing happened because there's no harm done. The machine will just continue to operate as normal. The overload switch takes care of the additional stress. There we go, shut down, reboot, and continue as if nothing had happened. So it would be very difficult for an operator to injure themselves in any way or do any damage to the machine in any way. Okay, thank you for watching my short presentation. Regardless of whether you do or don't choose to go ahead with the Gentle Roller, I wish you all the best with your organisation in looking after people with mental health issues. Thanks very much.